Step 1 for creating an epic gaming video is you need a game. And there's nothing on a Mac except for Resident Evil. Ha! Step 2, you need a game controller. And I haven't had a game controller since my dad mowed over my Xbox in 1962. But found this one. Make these packages childproof. Oh, yeah. I've missed you. Not you. I miss you too, but I miss this guy. Step 3, you need headphones. I don't know why, but all the gamers have them. My speakers work fine. Ow! Step number 4, you need a camera to film yourself, and I'm using that camera. Well, let me show you. Using that camera right there, and you need kind of a gaming setup, so that's so I can monitor myself, which is helpful. And I got this mic right here and my gaming monitor. It's gonna be epic. Step number 5, you gotta record your screen. If you're recording your computer, there's a bunch of apps that'll help you record your computer screen. I use one called Camtasia. There's a link for that one in the description below. If you're using a gaming console, some of those have the ability to record the screen built in, or you could use a capture card. There is software that allows you to merge your face and your screen at the same time while you're recording, but I like to record them separately and then bring them into CapCut, and that gives you a lot more options. Step number 6, you want to grab a 50-pack of energy drinks because once you sit down, you are never getting up. Go! Step number 7, you're gonna need some pull-ups. I suggest Bluey, and if you've ever gamed before, you understand why this is a necessary part of gaming. Just gonna have to sit on it. I think I need bigger pull-ups. Step 8, if you want to have a shot at YouTube gaming glory, you gotta stand out. Now, you could be the best in the world, so you better sit down and not move for 24/7 for like 3 or 4 years, become the best gamer on earth. Or you could have like some kind of a shtick, like you're super obnoxious, or super loud, or super quiet, or insanely boring, or maybe you're just freaking hilarious. In fact, for my gaming channel, I'm gonna be the naked gamer. And to stand up more, I've got...
No, Trevor, that's not an option.
You know, I'm gonna crush it being the naked gamer. Yeah, I know, I probably pushed that too far. There goes all my subscribers. Step number 9, you gotta film yourself gaming. It's go time. Watch out, nutcakes. Step 10, it's time to edit this gaming video in CapCut. Now, I suggest filming yourself in the screen the whole time in one big take instead of starting and stopping. It's gonna make it much easier. Let me just put my shirt on for you so you don't have to suffer through all of this. Before we edit this thing, do you know how to edit yet? Because if you don't, I got a great course, Edit with Trev and Master CapCut. It'll teach you to edit in like 2 days. Plus, I teach you exactly what you need to do to get more views. Whether you're a gaming channel or a food channel or a travel vlog, the stuff I teach helps you get more views no matter what. You follow the 10 steps, get more views every time. Guaranteed it works. If not, get your money back. Now let's edit this thing. First, we jump into CapCut and we import our footage, which are these 2 clips here. Remember, it's easier if you just let the camera run the entire time and then edit it here in CapCut instead of starting and stopping, because then you have to sync a whole bunch more. By the way, I'm giving you both of these clips, so if you don't have the ability to record and you want to practice, you can record with me. There's 2 takes of me. You're gonna run through a game thing. I've got like 6 minutes or something that I'm gonna give you of gameplay and me. You can do what you want with it. I don't care if you upload it to YouTube and monetize it and make $1 million. It's all yours. So go ahead and click the link in the description below and download Trevor Gaming. You know you want it. And we're just gonna drag the gameplay video down to the track and the me gaming video on top of that. Now notice that these aren't exactly the same length because they're not exactly in sync. The first thing we want to do is sync them. So we're going to highlight both of them, then right click and choose sync video to sound, and it listens and then it syncs it up exactly. Then we're just gonna trim this thing up. Now you might think you'd use the track magnet to make this easier, and there is a way to do that, but we're not gonna use the track magnet for this because ultimately it just makes it a little harder and you're gonna be more likely to get things out of sync. So we're just gonna keep it really simple. So what we're gonna do is just go to the beginning. I'm using my command key and scroll wheel to zoom in on the timeline, and we're going to listen to see where we start. I'm gonna show you nutcakes how to crush. And you might notice here that we have different aspect ratios because I decided to film full screen on my widescreen monitor. It's a curved monitor. It kind of looks great. It's great for gaming. And you can upload videos that are widescreen, no problem, to YouTube. I'm going to turn this top track off by clicking on it, typing the letter V, and we can see that this is widescreen. We can see the clip of me, type the letter V again, is just typical 4K footage that is 3840 by 2160. And that's okay. We could leave it there and kind of mess with it, but because we're going to go full screen with me sometimes, let's go ahead and just drag me a little bit bigger so I fill the entire screen and get a tiny bit of space there. Well, actually, maybe cut off some of my bald head like that. And bam, now they're the same size. And now we just start trimming this thing up. Now you might think that you would use the track magnet so things suck over easily, but if you do use the track magnet, you're very likely to get out of sync. There's a way to do it, but it's kind of a pain, so we're just gonna go the simple, certain way. So first we're going to line our playhead up where this starts, which is right here. Let's listen.
I'm gonna show you nutcakes how to...
And you can see it's in sync because the audio here of me talking, the audio here of me talking is lined up, those waveforms match. And I'm just gonna highlight both tracks, Command B on a Mac, Control B on a PC. It deletes that. Now, just to show you what happens, if I put the track magnet on, look what it does. Slides it out of sync. And I could group them, but that creates additional clicks and issues later. So all we're gonna do is just highlight this, bring it to the far left. We're gonna make sure that snapping is on, which is this guy right here, so that the playhead snaps to the beginning or end of a clip to edit points. Let's go ahead and start by editing this thing. We're just gonna hit play.
I'm gonna show you nutcakes how to crush Resident Evil 4, even if you're older than 18, which I am, but just barely. Let's go!
So for this beginning part, we're just going to add an edit here, Command B or Control B, and then I've got nothing happening here. I can see the waveforms, nothing's happening, so I'm gonna delete this point. So I'm gonna delete this section here. To do that, as long as both tracks are highlighted, I can type what letter to add an edit here and delete this. It will leave a space because the track magnet's off, but I'll just type letter Q, bam. And these are already highlighted. I'm just gonna drag this over, snapping is on, it'll snap into place.
Oh! By the way, this is a family-friendly game.
A couple things. I've got 2 tracks of audio here. I don't need this bottom track. It has a little bit of me talking and a lot of the gaming noise. The gaming noise is the shh you hear in the background. So it's going to delete that clip there. So this is cleaner. Listen.
Go!
So that's all clean audio. And here I want me full screen. So I'm just going to leave me full screen here. But for most of the rest of it, I'm going to want to be in a little square or box or something here in the top right of the screen. So we're going to do that now by clicking on this track, choosing mask, and choosing the shape we want. We could choose a circle or we could choose a rectangle. Let's go ahead and choose a rectangle. And I'm gonna adjust it so I see about as much of me as I want, which is about this much. And I'll be going probably back a little bit. Obviously, I'm way too big and I'm also flipped. I'm facing that way. If I'm gonna be in the top right, I wanna be facing the other direction. To flip me, all I do is I hit this guy right here. It's a mirror, bam. And we can see that the mask is not in the right place. So I'm going to put me right about there in the middle, and we might adjust. We're gonna check it and adjust it. Now, I want this to be smaller in the corner. If I drag it like this, it moves the mask, it doesn't move me, and it doesn't make it smaller. If I click in the corner exactly, I can make the mask smaller, but not me smaller. So to get me smaller, I just click on Basic, and now I can adjust the scale, and I can put me where I want to be, which will be right up here in the corner. And that looks like gamer time, right? Now to make sure that's about where I want it, I'm gonna deselect it by clicking anywhere in the timeline and go through here and see, I'm going back and forth and back and forth. Yeah, it seems to be positioned really, really well. I just don't want to go out of frame there. So I'm bouncing around, acting like a crazy person. And then we just go through the rest of it and edit it like this.
By the way, this is a family-friendly game. Oh, check it out. They got nice people waiting to greet me in the village. Well, hello, nice people. Just in case they're not nice, that guy's got an axe. He might be the mean one.
So I'm like, hello, nice people. And then it's like me running and I'm just rambling about nothing. So maybe I'll add another edit here. You got to make sure that both tracks are highlighted. Command B or Control B. And let's find where, maybe where I start shooting things. So it looks like I start shooting things. So I say, hello, nice people, and then maybe I shoot them and get rid of the rest. So what keystroke? Add edit, delete all of this, Q. If the track magnet was on and it was only one track, it would slide over and keep things nice and neat. With 2 tracks, it gets messy. So we're just gonna leave it there and then slide it over and check it.
Well, hello, nice people.
Uh-oh. See, I nailed that guy first shot because you couldn't see me take 10 minutes to line it up. So you go through the entire thing and you just delete anything that's boring. You want people to stay watching your video. So if you're rambling and you're not entertaining, or if you're messing up, or if it's not fun, just delete it all and it'll shrink it up to something much more manageable. And then you tweak a little more to make it more fun, which we'll do right now. So here it is all trimmed up. Our 4 minutes of video is now down to like 1:15. And we could just leave it like this, me full screen and then me in the corner during all this gameplay, and it's all pretty entertaining stuff. I mean, if you ask me, you're gonna find out for yourself in a second, but we can make it better. So how about we go from me to just the gameplay without me there? Now we could delete me, but then we lose the good audio. So what I'm gonna do is right click and choose Extract Audio right here. And there's the good audio down there. And we do want the gameplay audio here because we're showing the screen. And now I can just delete me, bam. So it's gonna go from me to gameplay with good audio.
Oh, check it out. They got like nice people waiting to greet.
Okay, so we got that, and then we got me shooting, and then I'm just gonna look and see any time that I might face the camera, and see if I do here. Boom, am I facing the camera? There it is, I'm talking to the camera.
It's looking bleak.
Okay, it's looking bleak. I'm talking there, so we're just gonna make me full screen right there. And I'm gonna trim this up a little bit more. Highlight, hit Q, and to select all these tracks. Now notice that I only have these two tracks selected, not these two. This is important. I use this all the time in Premiere, DaVinci Resolve, and in CapCut, so I can select everything over. I could highlight it because there's not very much, but sometimes you'll have a long timeline, and that's not gonna be the most practical thing. So if we have just those two highlighted, I can jump over here and choose Select Rightward. And so now I've got these arrows I click, and it does that, but I never do that. I will always, let me just select these two again, type the right bracket key, which is this one right here, bing, right bracket, and it makes those into arrows. Now I can take this and slide it over until it snaps into place. Bam.
This is probably safe. This is the safe zone. It's looking bleak.
So for it's looking bleak, I want to see just me full screen. So I'm going to add an edit right here. You already know the keystroke. I never use that razor tool. That's what makes you slow. I click on this guy and I get rid of the mask by clicking here for none, and then I go over to basic, and I want to undo all of this by clicking this redo button here, and then make me full screen again like this, and we're golden, so watch what it does.
Safe, this is the safe zone. It's looking bleak.
So for it's looking bleak, we could just have me zooming in a little bit to add a little bit of interest. To do that, I'm just going to click on scale at the beginning, add a keyframe by clicking that button there. Go to the end, it's the down arrow once to get to this edit point and back one frame. I'm just gonna scale it up a little bit like that, and now it looks like this.
Zone, it's looking bleak.
So I'm scaling up, and it makes it a little more interesting. And here's a little bit of a dead space here, so I'm gonna delete this. You can always keep trimming as you go. Command B, Control B on a PC, Command B again. I'm going to delete this, and I repeat these things so you get them in your heads and you'll learn to do them. Right bracket gives me the arrow sign. I'm going to select everything to the right of here, and I just slide it over. And then we go from looking bleak, and I'm talking, and there's no pauses. So right here, I'm complaining and stuff. I'm not going to show you exactly what I say here or do, but I want to go full screen again here. So what I'm going to do is kind of a new trick. I'm going to first add an edit just on this track. So I'm going to click just this guy, Command B. So I'm going to make this thing all full screen again. Now, since this has the properties that I like, so I'm going to zoom in on this clip with the scroll wheel and the Command or the Control key. I'm going to right click and I'm going to choose Copy Attributes so that I can duplicate what that's doing over on this one here at the end. And if I right click on this guy, and I can choose Paste Attributes, and it gives me options of what I want to paste. And I'm just gonna go ahead and hit paste. And it got close, but what it didn't do is one thing, which is get rid of the mask. It got me almost there, so I click on mask and hit delete mask. And now we've got that. And it scales me up. And notice that I'm scaling up just the same as I scaled up in this one. But if I want to change that, all I do is drag this second keyframe so it ends up scaling up the entire time. And then now it'll slowly scale up over time. Bam, so now we've got this thing roughed out, we've got an open, we've got an obnoxious close, and we've got me going full screen. So what do we do next? Well, for our open, maybe we want to add a little bit of music. So let's go on up to audio and choose intense music. And this is totally live. I have not found the intense music. We'll see what CapCut comes up with. Sports, dance, jazz, attack sound. That's only 10 seconds. Maybe, let's try this. Kind of obnoxious, too old school. Let's try, how about this? Yeah, that works for me. So let's go ahead and drop that in, hit the plus sign. Intense, heavy metal music for this heavy, heavy video game where everybody dies, especially me, over and over again. And it's gonna delete that beginning so it starts there. We've got, okay, and we want the music to probably end right here. So I'm just going to add an edit there and delete it. And the music's obviously too loud because I'm talking here. So we're just going to take the music down quite a bit.
I'm going to show you Nutcakes how to crush Resident Evil 4.
And I'm going to turn that off for a second because I don't feel like I'm loud enough here. So I'm going to turn that off by typing the letter V. It's highlighted, type letter V. It hides that track. And I'm just going to listen to myself and look at the levels here. If I click on the levels meter, I can see the levels bigger over here.
Resident Evil 4. Even if you're older than...
Now, I want to be peaking around -1, and I'm peaking at like -7 or so. So what I'm going to do is select all of me talking like this and apply loudness normalization, and I do that by clicking on audio, and it's going to make the levels, it's going to bump them all and make them all even. So I click on that, and it says it can't because the loudness value of the selected clip is too low. And I left this on purpose so you can see what happens. All of these have levels except this one right here. It had nothing to listen to. And I'm going to deselect this clip by holding down the command key on my Mac. And now, in theory, hopefully I'm right, if I hit loudness normalization, bam, notice that it bumped all those levels up. And this one we didn't care because there's no levels we care about there. And now the levels are...
How to crush Resident Evil 4.
And now we are peaking at about -1, which is exactly what I wanted. And that'll make me louder than the background noise of the gameplay. It does run the risk of getting a little bit too loud. Let me just do a little bit of gameplay here and see what the levels are.
I can probably just... She looks mean. Shoot! Yikes!
Yeah, so it looks like we're still pretty good with levels. So now that we've got those levels right, let's go ahead and turn the music back on. You highlight it, hit the letter V, and let's just listen for a second here.
I'm going to show you Nutcakes how to crush Resident Evil.
One thing we can do to make this more fun is add just some kind of effect over the top when I say crush Resident Evil 4. So let's jump over into effects and find some of these fun video effects. What about light effects or glitch or distortion? Maybe some distortion would look cool. Like what looks like crush to you. And I'm just kind of doing this live to see what would be fun. And there's just unlimited things you can do here that make this just infinitely more fun. Let's look at glitch. Yeah, pixel glitch, that looks good. So let's go ahead and add pixel glitch over the top of this. When I say crush Resident Evil 4.
Nutcakes how to crush.
So right when I say crush, let's just put that right here.
How to crush.
And, you know, being precise is important, so we're going to make it start exactly at crush, which is back a frame or two, like there.
You Nutcakes how to crush Resident Evil 4.
And then to make it more interesting again, we can just maybe push in on me here. And to do that, we can add a cut. Bam, we add a cut, and we scale it up a little bit, and just drag me down a tiny bit. And I look stoned, but I'm not.
Resident Evil 4, even if you're older than 18.
And then after I say 18, we're just going to make me small again. I'm going to scale back down. And for that section, we want it to be black and white because we want to minimize the fact that I'm barely over 18. So we're just going to jump into filters right here and choose a black and white one. I'll just type the word black and all this black and white stuff will show up. And I don't know, Black Forest, that looks cool. Let's try that. I'll just drop it on top. That's boring. Let's try plain old black and white. Where did you go, man? All right, that one was boring, but let's try, how about black ice? Oh, that looks cool. Just a stand.
18, which I am, but just barely. Let's go!
And then for let's go, we obviously need to be like zoomed way in again, so we're going to zoom way in. And I'm just showing you this stuff because you just need to add things to keep people engaged and keep it interesting and fun, especially for a gaming video. You know, this isn't a cooking channel. This is a gaming video. Your target audience is 13. And all this stuff is just to keep this interesting and flowing. You need padded interrupts every couple seconds. If your target audience is 13-year-old gamers, dude, they've got no attention spans. You got to make this super interesting. And they probably wouldn't watch me game because I'm like their grandfather's age. Let's go ahead and make this last thing fun. What's a fun thing we can do here for Let's Go? Let's go into effects, look into body effects, and what looks cool? A superhero. I thought they had some superhero stuff. Superpowers. What superpower do I want? What's the most crazy superpower they have? How about the Tyndall effect? I love that one. It's going to drop it. It's going to drop it right on it directly. And then let's change the color to something interesting. Red, maybe red. Let's go. Filters. Adjust how bright it is. We want it around there. And strength, we want to crank it. And then, yeah, the intro's got like way more fun stuff going on now. Next, we want to add a transition between me going Let's Go and gameplay. So we're just going to take all of these tracks, drag them down so I can add a transition. Then we're going to jump up to transitions and find a fun one. What's a fun transition? How about, I don't know, I just love the glitch distortion-y things. Let's go glitch flash 3. I've never tried it. We're trying it now live. Bam, what does it do?
Oh, check it out. They got like...
Yeah, I love that because it goes from something dramatic, I'm screaming in music, into the game, and it's another pattern interrupt that makes what happened? Now we're in the game, and we're hearing the background noise of the game that shh as I'm in this place that's about to destroy me. And that's a great intro. And before I show you this glorious masterpiece, we're going to do one more thing. What do you want people to do on your channel? You want them to subscribe, and luckily they make it super easy with cool stickers. You don't have to create yourself. We just go into the search bar under stickers, and you type subscribe. And in here we got all these options. There's some with motion, some with less motion. And let's go ahead and just choose one of these basic subscribes. There's not a lot of action happening with it. The little bell's moving, so we can make it more interesting by clicking on it and choosing animation and have it come in with something fun. Maybe we can have it zoom in like that. Boom, that's a boring zoom in. Boring. Okay, so if you don't like these, Plan B is to turn it into a video clip so you get more animation options. To do that, you get rid of that one by hitting none. We right click on this, and do you remember what you do? How could we turn this into a video clip like magically? You could just choose create compound clip, even though it's just a clip. But now it's a compound clip, so it thinks it's a video. So now we've got way more animation options that are way more fun. So let's go ahead and choose one of these. How about this Lumen Flash?
Nice.
Yeah, there we go. We got that for the in, and then we can have it go out with something fun. How about cubic flip? Let's see what that is.
This is pro.
And so now with that in and out, it'll look like this.
This is look. She doesn't look nice. I'm gonna run away. This is probably safe.
So bam, now they know they need to subscribe, so you'll get 1 million subscribers in a week, probably, right? The only thing we're lacking now before I show you, I know I said that once already, but I'm just gonna say it again, or maybe a few sound effects. So for sure, we need one for this transition here. So let's just go into audio, and we'll choose something like glitch. They probably don't have any glitch sound effects. Glitch sounds, you got anything? Yeah, there we go, that kind of works. So we're just gonna drop this guy down here, and we're going to zoom in so we have some control over where that is. Ding, 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 ding. And we're just going to put it right here. And you want it to start where the glitch starts and end where the glitch ends. So we're just going to type the letter what? W, add an edit, delete that, and let's see what that looks like.
Oh, check it out. They got like
A lot of times I will figure out what I want to do as I go. I don't plan any sound effects or transitions or effects of that stuff in advance. As I go, I do it. And right now I'm like, hey, it's starting boring. It's just my stupid face staring at the screen. So I want to come in more interestingly here. So I'm going to click on that clip and go to animation and choose another in for myself. That's, exciting. How about old TV?
I'm gonna show you Cupcake.
And what's wrong with that? It took way too long, but it's kind of interesting. Let's make it like half a second and see if that's better. Yeah, I think that's better.
I'm gonna show you
And then TV sound. Do we have a TV sound? Let's see. Probably not. Maybe. TV static. Yeah, that kind of works. Didn't think they'd have it, but that's kind of great. And we'll just have it last for the duration of that transition. And you can go ahead and sound design, your gaming video to your heart's content. It's going to add a lot more fun to it. Let's see how this works.
I'm gonna show you Cupcakes.
And you can sound design this thing to your heart's content, add more filters, transitions, effects to keep it interesting all the way through, bring yourself full screen, zoom yourself in and out, and eventually get a masterpiece of this old dude playing Resident Evil 4 right now.
I'm gonna show you Cupcakes how to crush Resident Evil 4!
Even if you're older than 18, which I am, but just barely.
Let's go!
Oh, check it out. They got like nice people waiting to greet me in the village. Well, hello, nice people. They may not be friendly, but I can probably just... She looks mean. Shoot! Yikes. Oh, dude, run! Fire! No! Oof. Oh, no, not an axe! Yikes! Ah! These guys are mean! Holy... Break free! Break it free! Bam! Throw free! Oh, throw him! Yeah! Got it! Oof! Got that guy! Oh, dear! Ah! I'm moving slow. Why am I moving so slow? She doesn't look nice. I'm gonna run away. This is probably safe. This is the safe zone. It's looking bleak. Oh, but I got a gun somewhere. Oh, come on. Oh, yeah. Oh, I got one. No. Okay, break free. Run. I can't run fast because I'm like bleeding out. And, two of them. I can take two. No problem. What? No. What? Freaking hacked! No way!
Speaking of sound design, if you want to get great at sound design, plus get 100 free sound effects, you want to watch this video right here. It will be the best YouTube decision you've ever made in your life, besides buying my course.